guys, and today we are going to talk about the optional chaining, and that is a very important feature into the JavaScript, and it's a new feature. So, how we can use it, and what is the purpose of using this optional chaining? So, actually, it's a kind of check that we need to include, and it makes it easy to write the code. Like if we have nested object and we need to check each and every step of data, like it existed to the object or not. So just for checking that, we normally do like let's suppose we have a object over here, const a equals to there's an object, there's another key b object, there's another key c, and another object b. Then you have a value, some values over here like this. Okay, so let's suppose this is a 4 time nested object, and then you have a value. So let's suppose you are getting a data from an API and you don't know like which level of the level of that object and value exists or not. Sometimes value gets comes as a null or undefined. Sometimes this key doesn't exist into the API, so sometimes it throws error. So some kind of that for checking that thing, what we do, we normally do like if we are passing the data into the rendering the data into the like into the JSX. So what we do, a and then b and then c, something like that, and then b if a exists, b exists, or we normally check like this as well, like, and then b dot c, if b dot c exists, and it goes to c, then it checks c dot d. Okay, something like this nesting we do. So it kind of looks weird. Sometimes code gets breaks into the production as well. So it's kind of like a lot of nesting goes on. It doesn't look good then when we write the code. So for resolving this issue, there's another things that comes into the picture that is called optional chaining. So operator is just like this. Like suppose if you have nested objects, so you can write it like this, like console.log, and you can just do a dot b question mark dot c question mark dot b. That's it. So let's suppose if d doesn't exist, so it won't gonna break the code. Okay, it will normally print undefined or something else, and if d exists, then it's gonna resolve the issue. So you can also check it like if d exists, then it's gonna true the condition, otherwise it's gonna make it false. So same thing if I'm gonna write over here. Okay, control c and control v. Okay, so let's see into the function. Okay, so you can see the value is coming over here. Also the value should be coming console as well. So see the value is coming over here, and if I remove the d from here, let's suppose, okay, and if I remove the d, so you can see it's coming as undefined. And let me write something over here, like it should not break the UI. Okay, h1 and h1. Okay, and let me write something over here, like let me write some understandable. This is my app. Okay, and okay, so now if you see, the c doesn't exist, d doesn't exist, so that's why it's breaking the UI. But if we use optional chaining over here, okay, and now let's see. So it's not breaking the UI, but showing undefined value over here. Okay, so that's the thing. That's why we can prefer to use this optional chaining over here. So there's a one more thing that we should know, how we can use this optional chaining into our React repository, because we cannot use directly because a lot of things are going on into it. So I'm using Webpack for making the build of this app. So I cannot use directly over here, but into the Create React app, you can directly use this optional chaining, and you can just like go with that. So for using it, if you are using Webpack or something like that, so you need to use a preset. Like into the Babel, you need to use this preset and you need to include this. So let me show you into the documentation how you can use it. So if you go into the optional chaining in Babel, okay, optional chaining Babel, and if we go over here, so you need to include this. Uh, yeah, so this preset you need to include into your Babel config.js, then you can start using this. So what you need to do, first install this, just copy this and install it, and now stop the server, stop your server. After installing that, stop this server and then restart it again, and you can just start using it. That's it you need to do. So that's the thing, that how we can use this optional chaining. It's been pretty easy and pretty cool feature that JavaScript provide, and it's very good. So if we start using this one, we will forget that and operator or operator or something like that. Or operator we can use, but this thing replaced the and operator. Like we do always checking like the things exist or not into the JSX. So that's how we use. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching. Until then, tata bye bye. We'll meet you in the next video.